We were promised adult government. What we got was a Whitehall PR agency with ministerial titles. Labour's now been in power for 7 months, and the spell of euphoria must have broken. The public, having once wept with relief to see the back of the Conservatives, are beginning to feel that they've merely swapped incompetence for insincerity. Rishi Sunak, hardly a prophet of political judgment, said it clearly after 100 days of Labour rule: nothing has got better. And to the astonishment of many, he was absolutely right. Labour governs like a machine learning experiment, constantly reshaping its policies to mirror polling data rather than shaping public opinion with conviction. Sir Keir Starmer describes Farage as his main opponent. A curious move, given Reform UK has fewer MPs than a money bus can accommodate. Why do this? Because it tests well with focus groups. Because it shifts blame in advance. Because it feels electorally safe. But this isn't strategy, it's triangulation on autopilot. And the tragedy is we've seen this all before, with Blair, with Callaghan's Labour government that was once ahead in local elections, in contrast to Starmer now. But it made no difference in 1983. The public doesn't want technical competence, it wants vision. And Keir Starmer, for all his forensic talents, offers none. Let's talk about economics, because Rachel Reeves came in promising stability, but instead of taxing the grotesquely wealthy, Labour has clamped down on winter fuel payments, upheld the 2-child benefit cap, raised national insurance, attacked people looking for help with their SEND students in private education. Austerity with a softer tone is still austerity, isn't it? Vicky Foxcroft's resignation over cuts to disability benefits speaks volumes. This is no backbench firebrand, this was a whip, a loyalist, and her departure signals not rebellion but despair. Labour's own heart is breaking and its leadership is deaf. Reeves tells sentimental tales of her mother balancing books on the kitchen table, but macroeconomics is not domestic budgeting, no matter how well Mrs. Thatcher presented it as such. Cutting benefits while bragging about fiscal rules is neither brave nor progressive, it's cowardice in technocratic clothing. A Labour government should never be accused of deepening poverty, and yet here we are, pensioners on $13,000 a year, stripped of fuel allowances, disabled people pushed into deeper precarity, a jobs tax on small businesses, and in the middle of this, a housing target now phrased in the subjunctive, not we will build, but we should build. Workers' rights diluted, NHS promises postponed, HS2 practically scrapped. And then there's the contempt, quite literally contempt. Labour MPs in a leaked WhatsApp group mocked constituents and colleagues with language so vile it beggars belief. Meanwhile, MPs who defied the whip on child poverty are punished immediately. What message does that send? That protecting disabled children is more scandalous than joking about running down cyclists? That the ideology that stops people send child to a independent school because they can just afford it, and because the state school doesn't offer proper services, doesn't offer proper provision, to cut that on the basis of ideology? What an ideology which is then defended with, oh, we're going to put in 6,000 new teachers. None of them. In fact, what we've seen is a teacher drain, a teacher shortage. It's not just poor politics, it's failed leadership. Labour lacks a philosophical compass. There's no guiding idea, no animating vision, except perhaps spite. The only consistent doctrine appears to be whatever wins tomorrow's headlines. You cannot govern a nation of 70 million souls like you're managing a social media account. The economic model has failed, growth is sluggish, global conditions are hostile, and instead of offering a break with the past, Labour offers minor tweaks to a broken machine, hoping it might wheeze back into life. They think they're clever. They aren't. They're scaremongering about economic rubble and ruin, forgetting that fear makes people save, not spend. They raise national insurance, forget its effect on employment, and then act surprised when retail and jobs decline. This is Liz Truss in reverse, the same delusion cloaked in softer colours, without the allure of Kwasi Kwarteng's prodigious package. Leadership is not the art of ducking controversy, it's the ability to make decisions rooted in principle, not polling. And Keir Starmer promised to be different. Instead, he's governed like a man terrified of his own shadow. If Labour continues to imitate reform, it will lose to reform. If it continues to ignore its base, it will find itself deserted by its base. If it continues to preach fiscal conservatism while abandoning moral justice, then history will remember this not as a Labour government, but as a vacuum in power, a lost opportunity, a betrayal dressed in competence. And the time has come for another rebrand, or rather, the time has come not for another rebrand or another reboot, but for a reckoning. And that reckoning is just round the corner. And if Keir Starmer is not up to that reckoning, he will fail. And then it's a matter of how long he's going to linger on.